and I love her. I love her with every fiber of my being. So she messages me and says, "Hey, are you open?" We're not open on Mondays and Tuesdays. This is like the fifth time. Hey, what time do you like? It goes on and on and on, right? And it's adorable. It's the cutest thing. So, hey, what time do you close right now? Literally at 9 o'clock. It's always been 8 p.m. every time you've asked. For the past 5 years, we close at 8 p.m. Oh, okay. Like, what's up? Oh, I didn't know. I was in the mood for my tattoo. And I'm like, ooh, what kind of a moth? I'm like, is it a traditional moth? She goes, no. Something that William's supposed to draw up. I'm like, oh, okay. Damn it. She's like, what? I'm like, that's fine. Hurt my feelings. She's like, okay, what? I'm like, I understand. I got you. I'll probably be in sometime this weekend, which is tomorrow, or this week.
Tomorrow.
Also tomorrow. I'm like, come on in tomorrow. She's like, I work tomorrow.
So
Which weekend?
Next weekend.
Next weekend. What time do you open? 11 a.m. For the past 5 years, it's been 11 a.m. Right? She's like, damn, I don't know how long the tattoo will take. And I have to be out of Irvine by 2. I jest about working with clients that are complicated or whatever, right? And I love every minute of it.
Yeah, I find it kind of funny dealing with clients on things like selling in a tattoo or date and time and Roman numerals and stuff, you know, where it says in our contract that they have to verify that it is correct and tell us that it is correct.
That it's their responsibility for that.
And a lot of times they'll do a quick glance and be like, oh yeah, that's correct, and then we tattoo it on them, and then they come back like 2 weeks later looking at it and it's like, I got the date wrong. It's too late. You said it was correct at the time we did the tattoo. There's not really anything we can do about it. We can cover it up.
So, yeah, but okay, right? So, in the beginning, that was never in the paperwork, right? But that's a future. That is a future podcast. Right now, and the moments of silence, I was speaking to a client, and I absolutely adore her. We're poking fun at her, and I love her to death. But this is our Red River Tattoo podcast, and we're going to do things a little bit differently. For the first couple of podcasts, you heard how we deal with things after hours here at the shop. Here we are after hours in the shop. I've had a lot of people ask me about opening their own business, not just tattoo shops, about opening their own business. The courage, the strength. I mean, like this, I'm getting things thrown at me tonight that will be. So Ash is with me. Hi. And in our last podcast, when no one was in here, and she'll listen to it eventually. Like, it hasn't been published yet. But by the time you guys hear this recording, it will have already been published, right? So she'll either listen to it and hate me, or she'll listen to it and cry and love me, or cry and hate me. I don't know. But I promise it's good. I swear to you it's good. Okay? I promise. But I've got Ash here with me, and Ash, before you ask me all these questions,
yes.
Eddie, before you ask me all these questions, Anthony, before you ask me all these questions, I need to let the world know Ash is a very, very enthusiastic tattooist who does an amazing job at fine line detail. Like every tattooist out there has to hone in their skill. Some of us, we will never hone it in. Some of us, it'll take a couple of years, a couple of weeks, a couple of days. But Ash does a lot here. One, she keeps me sane, right? I'm having a bad day and I want to sit there and bitch. She's always got an ear. Client comes in, she's also ears for them, right? We get some crazy clients from time to time. I honestly think that makes the world go round. And this is gonna sound so bad. I hate people. I really don't like crowds. People are completely unpredictable. When you're in here, you're completely vulnerable.
Mhm.
You're in an enclosed area with an individual, and it gets really personal. We hear a lot of things with our clients, and we're therapists to a lot of our clients. We really are.
Really should charge extra for the therapy portion, but
Absolutely.
you know, we-
No, our
I'm just
therapy
joking.
sessions.
I'm joking.
Our therapy sessions for our clients is them coming in, getting tattooed.
I know, I was joking.
You know, a lot of people don't understand the addiction to being tattooed. It lets out endorphins, man, in the brain. For a lot of us, getting tattooed is an absolute form of therapy.
Adulting is hard and I deserve stickers.
Yeah, like permanent stickers.
I don't know why I get tattooed. I mean, I know part of why is so that y'all have practice and stuff. I mean, I really don't enjoy the pain or anything, but I've always wanted tattoos. I've always liked them.
I just like having art on me.
Yeah, like it's. I want. That's the only thing that we can take with us
Mm.
is what we have on our skin, right? But if you haven't seen anything from Case, definitely come in and check her stuff out. She has an Instagram. Be polite. They'll be creeps. And she does a ton of beautiful commission work. I have an orange cat named Winston Church. Yes, from Pet Cemetery. And she took that information and took his image and ran with it, and I absolutely love it. I love it so much. He is the background of my phone. Love him. So look at Ash's stuff. It's really, really good. Right? Lay it on me. This
Okay.
is our after hours one-on-one with Steve. You're going to ask me
Just a little-
questions.
Get to know members of the Red River Tattoo.
So I've got Eddie here. I have our shop manager, Anthony, here. And we have Ash here. They're going to ask me questions about the insane dream that I had when I was 18.
Yeah, I was about to ask what originally inspired you to pursue tattooing.
Okay. All right. It's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A lot of people when you're young, you know exactly what you want to be when you grow up.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be an archaeologist, paleontologist, because my hero, my real life hero, was Dr. Hawass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Loved watching him on TV. Loved watching him in Egypt, digging stuff up. Like, that was my Indiana Jones,
Mm-hmm.
right? The earliest memory that I have of my grandfather, he was in the war. He was in the Navy. He went through a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he had these beautiful traditional tattoos, right? And I thought they were the neatest things because back then, you didn't see a whole lot of people like us who had tattoos. When I turned 18, I went and got my very first tattoo. And
What was it?
oh, my little butterfly here on my shoulder. This little guy right here. This is what started it all. This is my one, right? My one butterfly. I only have one butterfly. And I feel that women my age, we all have butterflies, like at least one, right? I got this one done, and as I was in there in the tattoo shop, and this is in Prestonsburg, in Floyd County, in Kentucky. And at the time, the shop was Southern Steel. And I went and got my tattoo done, had a bunch of my then friends whom we no longer talk to anymore. Like it was a them decision. Like it's fine, right? Bury you, go on. But just the vibe in the tattoo shop and looking at all of the flash on the walls and just the togetherness that was all there in the tattoo shop. He offered me an apprenticeship. Absolutely. I will drive from Lee County to Floyd County, or at the time when my father and I were still on speaking terms, I'll live with my dad and I'll come in, right? I was excited. Went home, talked to my mom about it. She went and talked to my father about it, and he was absolutely against it. No. You are not going to get a tattoo from, you're not going to apprentice in that shop. And I was like, why? At the time, the guy that was tattooing me was a deacon of a church. Okay. Every Sunday he would have the shop open, but it was for kids to get them off the streets. And I'm like, that is the coolest thing ever, right? And my father had no idea that this was a deacon of the church. It was Father's Day. And I remember, I'm lying to you, it wasn't, this was not my first tattoo. I am lying to you. I lied. There was a dragon on my back that I drew up in high school, right? And I wanted that. I got that. And it was on my left side, my left shoulder blade. And Mom found it. I told her about it. She was mad, but I'm 18. She can't, she can't, like, she could be mad at it, right? And so she calls my dad, and it was Father's Day. That year, my 18th birthday, or I would have been 19 that year, so it was that Father's Day. When I turned 19, after I had turned 19. He goes in there, and we're seeing all of my stepmom's family and dad, this, that, and the other. And he tried to throw me under the bus because there were some people that came in with some really pretty tattoos. And he was talking about, yeah, guess what my daughter did? She went and got tattooed down there, and she wants to be an apprentice. I told her that I would pay for her to go to school out there in California before I ever let my daughter go into that tattoo shop. And everybody turns and looks at him and like, why? Oh, I don't trust them, and you know how tattoo shops are. They're nothing but gangs, and you know what happens in tattoo shop. One of them piped up and said, he's a deacon of a church. This is a good guy, right? So I went home crying in tears. My father and I got into a huge argument, and I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to do it anymore. To keep the peace, I'm not even going to talk about it. He was completely against me having an apprenticeship. And I let that go. I let it go. Life got involved. I'm married, I have a daughter, I'm going to school, you know, a plethora of medical issues. And I had made a post, it was like 5 years after the fact, how I had always wanted to be in a shop. Didn't matter if I was front desk, I didn't care, just so that I could have that togetherness, like that family, right? And that one Facebook statement started it all. And I was contacted by my mentor and was like, hey, are you serious about, you know, wanting to work in a tattoo shop? I'm like, absolutely. So I was going to a tattoo shop in northern Kentucky, you know, to get my tattoos, right? And I'm like, absolutely. Okay. Come in, we'll talk, right? I'll tell you exactly what's going on. Yeah. I was working at Safran Landing Systems at the time, making really good money, okay? But the carbon dust was awful. I was sick all the time. I was constantly in 100+ degree heats where I was working, like it was awful, right? I went in right after work, covered head to toe, and he was like, don't sit down anywhere, you're filthy. I'm like, completely respect that, completely understand that. And the following week, I left Safran and I went to do that. But it all started with the knowledge that it would piss my father off. Knowing I always get what I want. In the end, I'll always get what I want, and I got it. So I did this out of spite to prove to him that I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it without your approval because I don't need your approval to be happy in my life. Spite.
I can get behind spite.
Spite. I'm a very spiteful individual.
So, what is your favorite style to tattoo?
I love traditional pieces, and I can do a lot of custom works, and you know, there's things on my adoption wall over here. As soon as you walk in, like, oh, you know, anybody can adopt those pieces. I love traditional pieces, but I'm going to say as a beginner tattooist, because I've only really truly in the past 5 years of owning my business and getting away from everything. And although I'm still relatively new to the game, I've owned my business for 5 years. Now, for the past 2 years, since William has been here, since you've been here, you know, since I've had the help here in the shop to solely focus on tattooing and not piercing and not front desk and not, you know, not all of these things that your business needs you to be, I'm still perfecting my style. But a lot of people can look at my work and go, hey, Steve did that. So the personality in my tattoos are already coming out.
Signature style?
Yes. One of our clients, Mr. Napier, you've seen him.
Yeah.
Big tall guy, right?
Yeah.
Literally thought of him when I bought this building. Literally thought of him. So he's gonna listen to this. He's gonna laugh, but he's great. But he's got a lot of my traditional pieces. Anthony has a lot of my traditional pieces. And you see the progression of everything. Once all that stress and everything goes away, like you get into the swing of things. I love traditional pieces. I am not a fine line tattooist. I really try to reiterate that with everybody that comes in. I'm like, I will do my best. If you move, if you yawn, if you breathe, like you're going to mess us up, because those fine lines, man, they show, and there's no fixing those fine lines. Terrifies me. But if it doesn't terrify me to tattoo, I'm not learning. So traditional
Okay.
pieces.
What's been your favorite thing to learn as a tattooist?
Client interaction,
Yeah.
hands down. It's the motion of tattooing, just the like it's. There's nothing like it. I didn't do it. I don't know what's going on. There's nothing like it in the world. It's terrifying. It's exhilarating. Like there's so much emotion and thought that goes into it. And wow, the clients. You get so many walks of life in here, and they tell you their stories, and it's a blessing. It's really cool. It's really cool to sit and talk with those clients. You meet a lot of really cool people. A lot of dickheads too, but it is absolutely the people. I love it. I was gonna ask.
What is your favorite tattoo that you've ever done?
Oh no, that's like having me choose my favorite child. I have one human child. Well, no, like I've adopted a lot of like other people's children throughout the years. They call me Mama Steve, and it's I can't choose one. I really honestly can't. So the coolest piece I've done that I was like nailed it. It was not my design whatsoever. Okay, but it was a Father's Day gift on one of our clients, and I did like a big huge Viking like bear head
Yeah.
on his back. That was a lot of detail. That was a lot. Like I'm like, yeah, I love that piece. Then there's the skeleton with the Indian headdress on Napier. Man, love that. You know, like every piece that I do, I love them. Nope. Next question. That was awful.
Okay. What part of designing, creating, painting, drawing is your favorite? What inspires you the most about it?
I guess how creative my mind can be. You really want to push the limits and see what you're capable of. So when I was apprenticing, this guy that I worked with, dude, he's got some really cool, like unique traditional pieces that he does in his style, right? And I was sitting there watching him work one day on Arches, our watercolor, and he's using a fucking paintbrush to outline these, and I'm like, what? Like, how do you do that? Like, what are you doing? I would sit and watch him for hours. He would sit there and paint a sheet of flash, you know, get himself out there, and he had what all traditional tattooists, if they come in and they're like, do you have a lookbook? Your traditional tattooists perk up because I was like, traditional pieces. Let me show you some of my work. You know? So I would sit there and watch him. Now, he was in a wheelchair. Okay, he was in a wheelchair, and so he had a lot of limitations. He had some health issues, and, you know, like, he was very limited. But that man could paint, dude. I'm not saying he couldn't tattoo. He was a wonderful tattooist. Man, that man could paint. He could hold his paintbrush steady and make a solid line. You know, I'm like, I'm going to teach myself how to do that. I'm going to do it. So every single day, I would get paintbrushes. I would get, you know, everything that I needed. Because I asked him, like, what are you using? You know, what's best? You know, hot press, cold press, this. So reluctantly, after a lot of pestering, he finally, you know, told me what it was. Nobody likes the new kid. Like, they're all Europeans, you know, nobody likes it. Whatever, it's fine. I did. I would sit right there. Draw, paint. I have everything over there on my adoption board. Maybe one or two pieces that are colored in. Everything over there was done with a paintbrush. I taught myself that. I'm very proud of that. The tarot card that's on Anthony's back,
Mm-hmm.
I painted that sheet of flash. And I got in all the bones with that paintbrush. Not perfect, mind you know. And one of the coolest compliments was from him.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Did you just do all of this with paintbrush?" And I'm like, "I did." That's actually really damn good. I can't do that. I can't get all that detail work. I'm like, I got a compliment. So I would do more and more and more and more. It consumed my life. That's all that I woke up to.
Mm-hmm.
I missed out on a lot of my family. This is what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I sacrificed a lot and still am, but so proud of myself for teaching myself that it's the coolest thing. Painting.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
What was the part that you found the hardest about being an apprentice?
Being a girl. Although the industry has a lot more lady tattooists,
Mm-hmm.
okay? It's not easy. I mean, you have to deal with creepy clients.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to, male and female, you have to deal with creepy coworkers. You have to deal with the fact that, oh, you're new, you're not going to last, you're shit, you don't know XYZ. Having the courage to continue on
Mm-hmm.
every single day. You've got critics. Not everybody in the world is going to like your work. Not
Mhm.
everybody in the world's going to like mine, Williams, you know, whatever.
What was your favorite part about being an apprentice?
That I was an apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
Literally that I had that opportunity. I had lost it when I was 19,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm in my 30s asking if I wanted an apprenticeship. Being an apprentice.
Mm-hmm. What advice would you give to yourself just starting out, being an apprentice, looking back?
If I could go back in time and tell myself how difficult the journey was going to be from then to now,
Mm-hmm.
that you're going to lose friends, that you're going to lose clients, that you're going to have clients that think you're shit, that you know, you're going to go through hell. And if you aren't prepared to walk alone, you're not cut out for this. A lot of tattoo shops, they're cutthroat
Mm-hmm.
to one another. They will give scraps to the new guys. And they absolutely, not all shops, a lot of shops will treat their apprentices like garbage. Endure is what, if I could go back in time, endure. Don't stop. Keep going. It sucks, but this is what you want. I wouldn't change a thing.
Okay. Lighter question now.
Yes.
Where do you draw inspiration from for your tattoos?
A guy. Everything.
Yeah.
Look around you. You can look at something and say, you know what? How would that look like as a tattoo? Or you look out the window here in the mountains and you see the birds fly,
Mm-hmm.
and you see that sparrow flying just right,
Mm-hmm.
and you capture that image in your mind and you're like, I'm gonna make that a tattoo. inspiration is everywhere if you know where you're looking. You could look at this lovely lady here and go, you know what? I'm going to do her face, and this is what I'm going to do. Oh, that rose pattern in the stained glass? Yeah. Like, you look at these things, and you think about, what would it look like in this tattoo? What would it look like this? Inspiration is everywhere. And if you're not inspired every single day, good beans. And if you're not inspired, if you can't look around and find inspiration in anything, you don't need to be here. Inspiration is everywhere. In the filigree on tapestries, or you know, you could drive by a church and see, you know, some really cool design in a steeple and stained glass. I mean, the molding on the ceiling. If you're not taking inspiration from living, this isn't the job. Like, don't. Do not. You know? No.